Hi. Hello, folks. Hopefully, your day is going well. I am able to just come and join you and spend time with you for an hour before I head over to my bocce league tonight, Monday night. Hi. So for folks, as you're coming on in, if you are able to press the orange heart, I guess it's called a daily heart me. Feel free to do that. If you cannot, if you could just double tap the screen and give hearts that way, that'd be great. You could also share, even though I'm not sure if it's worth sharing when I'm only here for an hour, but but you could. And if you feel comfortable giving gifts, that'd be great as well. Thank you, Bailey. Hi, everyone. All those that are coming. Thank you, Jess. So I know that there's at least two things that people seem to be very excited about today. Thanks, B Nova. I think it is two things that I've heard a lot about today. Was one, which is the video that's going around right now about like what will you miss about season 3. That's kind of why I named my chat today or my live today that title. And the other one was, I guess it was in my inbox a lot, but apparently Tiff had shared it in her story first. But it was a video from, I think, Sammy Barnes about the carriage scene, and everybody seems to have watched it except me. Hi, Debbie. Thank you. Oh, Jennifer said it made me cry. Oh, Diana. Hey, friends, I'm at work on the sales floor watching your live priorities. I really appreciate how often you're willing to take us to work. Hello, everybody. All those that have said hello. Hello right back. So I don't know, in the hour that I have with y'alls, I don't know which one you would want to discuss more. Oh, wait, Princess or Libby, when you said I need to find it, where was the video? Are you talking about which video? The one where, I mean, I did 2 videos. But the only one actually, hold on. There is a video I did around the Sammy Barnes one. That should have the YouTube link. But the one with the Bridgerton one with what you will miss in season 3, you would just have to go to the Bridgerton TikToks to get that video. Hi from Aussie, said Bam Bam. Ida Pita said, what's the name of the live? I just called it What Will You Miss About Season 3, based off of Bridgerton's TikTok that they just did today. Thanks, Dowsy49. Yeah, Natalie B says, I didn't see the carriage scene video. I haven't seen it yet either, but there's a lot of really positive feedback about it. And so it's 35 minutes long, so I just got to figure out my time, my life. I'm really fighting to have a semblance of normalcy in my life again, because I haven't had it. So my sleep has really been majorly suffering. I haven't slept at all. So I'm going to be trying to stay committed to sleeping no later than 10 p.m. each night and getting some like needed rest, because I've been pushing myself too hard, and I gotta stop. Thanks for watching, lady. Hi, everyone that's saying hello. Rachel Paris says, we all know why Luke will miss living as Colin every day. Yeah, cracked me up. You know, living my character every day, day by day, living it every day. Jessica Lynn said, I haven't watched the full thing yet, but Sammy is awesome. That's another thing that I have heard from the feedback in the comment section, is that not only was this video great, but I guess this creator has tons of great stuff. So it seems like once you land on this person's page and you get to watch this carriage scene one, you're most likely going to want to watch other stuff that they have on their page, which again is a great reason of why it's worth always telling people where to go instead of just, thank you watching lady, instead of just putting it on my page. I couldn't put a 35-minute video anyway on my page, but you know what I mean? Like, it just allows you to find content creators that are amazing and doing amazing work. Stephanie said, I haven't watched it yet either, waiting for the kids to go to bed so I can concentrate on it, LOL. Sanibel says, Shondaland knows how to fan the flames with this latest release of BTS. Hello, everyone that's coming on in right now. Dowsy49 said, where is the carriage scene? I mean, I'm fairly sure that if you just go to YouTube and type in Sammy Barnes, and that's Sammy, Barnes, you would be able to see it. Oh, thank you, watching lady. I love those big ones. They're so cute. And plus, they come right in the middle. Thank you, Nicole. Giraffe Friend said, I just watched the carriage scene video and it's so good. I hope you can find time. I hope so too. A part of me feels like if I do my vibration plate morning and night. So I feel like if I just decide to watch 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes at night and find an additional 5 minutes, I can get it done. Natalie B says, I've been trying to be normal and not obsess over this lately too. I mean, I think that's a good life choice. Like, we always gotta do what's right for ourselves, and sometimes that means pulling back a little bit. Stephanie says, I'm hoping that the video today means that we will finally get an announcement of season 4 leads. Oh, that would be great. I'm still leaning towards Benedict. Molly says, Sammy Bates' videos on Bridgerton are the best. Haven't watched that one yet. Okay. Yeah, that's the feedback I'm getting from folks. Thanks again, watching lady. Rusty Chestnut said, I just came here, hi from Scotland. What's the carriage thing you're talking about? Now, I haven't had a chance to watch it, Rusty, but what I heard is she analyzes the scene of the carriage scene, but I'm not fully sure. It was something that I guess Tiff originally put on her story, then people watched it, then people told me to let people know about it, so... But I'm not fully sure. It was something that I guess Tiff originally put on her story. Then people watched it. Then people told me to let people know about it. So I'm freezing. Am I freezing still for folks? Freezing? Oh my word. It's freezing? Oh no. Okay. Okay, let me see if I can find... Oh, not anymore? Again? Is it still? Is it still freezing? Oh, gosh. Thank you. I don't know what causes that to happen. I don't know if there's a lot of folks on the internet right now. We do have some guests that just arrived. So, okay. Sorry about that. Oh, P. Wade, you just reached member level 11. I don't know what that means. I need to learn what these things mean, but I get excited whenever I see it. I think it's when you press some sort of, maybe it's how many times you press that button up on top. Maybe. Thanks, Kimmy. Oh, no, again, freezing. Okay, I'm going to go somewhere here. Let's see. I'm going to try over here and see if it makes a difference. Let me go over here and see if... Oh, there's people there, so I can't do that. Let me try this area. How about here? Is it bad? How bad is it here? Is it working here? Is it working here? Is it bad here? Okay. Better for now. Better now. Okay. Hooey. Okay, so user with a lot of numbers right behind it. Which actually, user, you never used to be called user. I know you were someone else at one point. But the carriage scene anatomy was amazing. It showed me again how Luke and Nicola are fantastic actors. Okay, so far good. Okay, good. I don't know what's causing it. Okay. Okay, phew. All right, much better. But yeah, so were a lot of great feedback about that specific video, the carriage scene video. Um, Tina DQ said they really got to shine during season 3. Thank you, Debbie. What will folks miss? You know, they asked them that question, the whole cast and crew. What will you miss about season 3? So, what do you think your answers would be if you got asked that? What would you miss about season 3? What are some of the things that y'all would miss about season 3? What made season 3 such a great season for folks? Pollen. Jessica Lynn said, I already miss Lukola. Watching Lady said, I would miss our ship. P. Wade 45, not enough Colin and pen time. Mary said, probably the time with my co-stars as well. The Flower with Star says Penelope with a lot of exclamation marks. Rita said the PR tour. Oh, yeah, I would miss up. Tina DQ said the build-up of their story. A lot of pollen. Also PR tour. Lauren has a deep statement here. Lauren said what the fandom was like before the season. I think there's something to unpack there, to be honest. Because I did hear that the fandom changed a lot after the season was released. Maybe because it exposed far more people to the story of Pollen. And so there's like folks that had long established fandom and then seeing new folks coming on board, and sometimes the dynamic changes with that. And I don't know if that's what Lauren means, but that's what it makes me think of. Buddhist Mom said, I'd miss the way it makes me feel. C. Sorrell says, seeing Eloise and Penn back as friends. That was really great. Kristen said, I'd miss seeing Luke and Nick being madly in love and in denial. Princess _ ENF or Libby. Maybe I'll just call you Libby from this point forward. Or Princess Libby. I'm not quite sure. Luke and Penn being the main characters. Deb says, Luke and Nick, I will never get over. Minnie said Nicola Coughlin and her perfect necklace. Giraffe Friend said, I'll miss seeing Luke and Nicola all over TikTok. I love watching their videos. TK said, I miss seeing it for the first time. I love that. TLR Vibe says, Pollen PR tour with Luke and Nick. Just so much love and laughter. I think that's something that I will really miss a lot, is the way he laughed. Like, full-on neck exposed laughter. I love that for Luke. Like, I love watching it because it's so funny. She just cracks him up so much. Jessica Lynn said, happy to have found all of y'all, though, makes the withdrawals easier. Thanks. I'm thankful, too. It's been a really great ride. You know, Jenny said, do Lululand. Tam said that, too, the fun side of fandom. Princess Libby said, I hated we didn't see her pregnancy. They need to do another pregnancy for us. I mean, they end up having how many kids again, right? I think 3 or something. I didn't read the book, so I'm not sure, but I feel like that's what I heard someone said. Maybe more than 3. Kirsten said, I definitely wasn't part of the fandom before this, even though I always knew Penn and Colin would be together. Debs asked the question, which, you know, I might ask afterwards after I read some more answers, but maybe I'm going to forget if I don't ask now. So I'm going to read more answers to the question I said about what you would miss about season 3. But people can, while I'm reading those answers, people can start answering this question by Debs, which is, what is everyone's thought on the PR and how it was done? So I'm still reading what people are going to miss. P. Wade 45 said, I can't stop watching it now, so I don't know what it's going to be then. Love May said, I'm going to miss the slow burn of Pollen. Watching Lady said, Pollen's first kiss. The Green Bird Brigade says, I just miss waking up to new interviews every day. Yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Sade said, I miss the excitement of seeing new pics of them every day. Yeah. Tina DQ'd their banter together. User with a lot of numbers right behind it said PR Tour and Pollen, they are my favorite couple. Iman said their interviews, I enjoy them so much. Natalie B said I had watched but didn't join crazy fandom until recently. Buddha's mom said I love Nick and Luke, the tour, but I literally get butterflies watching it every time I rewatch. Kirsten said Claudia and Luke T are never going to do all that Nick and Luke Newton did. Mary said yes, his laughter makes you fall in love with him. JLK said seeing Luke genuinely happy. Amar said I can't even bring myself to watch another show. They need to pay for my therapy. Anna said I miss his laugh too. It made me giddy. Oh, okay. They end up having 4 kids according to Love May and Dowsy49. And Iman and Anna and Blanca. I'm dying. Okay, everybody knew. Everybody knew but me. I said 3. Everybody's letting me know. Veronica said Colin finally knowing he loved her. Di said Luke and Nick as main characters. Paul and Lukola, a lot of content with them. Iman said I think they will show Penn pregnant in the finale of season 4. Iman said if I remember correctly, their children are not far from each other in age. Tam says can't wait for season 4 and hope they do Paul and right. Okay, so then here's the answers to the PR question that Debs asked. So here's some of the answers. GL Benner said I love the PR. Lynette said over the top and not needed. Mary said it was a bit intense, I think, but I loved it. Kirsten said the PR tour was fantastic. I'm tired of the over-analysis of Luke and hating on him. JLK said feeling Luke needs a new PR team right now. Today's goes back to the first question I asked, which was I hope they will show the Featheringtons fell in love with them this season. So, Flower with stars around it said the PR tour itself was perfect. Anna said I miss tour Lukola. Natalie said I wasn't on the ship until the PR tour. I'm going to miss seeing a new Lukola video. B Nova said love the PR. It was fun. PR in quotes. Watching Lady said it was too real to be just PR. I wish them to be together. Many best PR I've seen, honestly, but also I've been on the ship a couple years, so it's life. MD's going back to the question originally asked, the first kiss was my favorite from show. Seeing Nick being unhinged every day was my fave. So Tam then said, I love the tour. I still watch videos. Amy also loved the PR tour. Miss seeing you videos of them together. Princess underscore ENF. Libby said, if they aren't in love, they have us all fooled. Love May said, PR started because some people believed Lukola didn't have chemistry. LOL, they proved everyone wrong. Interesting that people thought they didn't have chemistry. I wonder, was there any particular reason why people thought that was the case? P. Wade 45 said the first one in the book was a girl, not a boy. Yeah, I remember seeing that, that they had changed that. Zarina said, missing waking up to check on what's new with our Delulu moment. Laughing, then panic together. JLK said, agreed, this PR team is not going well, needs to change from this one. Lauren said, I miss anticipation of the show coming out. The ramp up to it was amazing. Veronica said, Netflix and any company should take advantage of that chemistry in the future. Photo shoots are, and then it's like a little kissy face with her heart. Rita said, PR was addictive, for better or worse. I agree there. Deb says, I love Lukola, but are we concluding that the PR was overdone? I'm still just confused still. I think it really depends on, thank you, Kimmy. It just depends on what folks were thinking about that. I think that for people who thought it was just PR, I would think regular PR would have said that's enough. Like, it doesn't have to get to that level. So I really do think that was just who they are as friends. That's just the way they function together. And because they function that way together, it just made people wish for them to be together. So that's why I don't believe it's ever been just PR, because I think most PR people would have been like, okay, you don't need to go that deep because it's not necessary. Tam said, I also love how Lukola joke around and their laughs. A Clean House with Muddy Boots said, my favorite rom-com of 2024 is the Luke and Nicola PR tour. I love that. That's hilarious. TLR Vibe says, I think it was fabulous, yet it did fuel the Lukola fandom for sure. Sue said they honestly didn't need much PR because we would have watched no matter what. I think that's the case too. Mandy said, I loved all the comedy they added in season 3 with Paulin and Featheringtons, etc. Yeah, the sisters had their moments to shine as well as with Portia. Lynette said the PR made me fall in love with Nick and I can't wait to follow her. Rena said in the moment the PR was amazing. In hindsight and with new info, Luke was doing too much. I mean, I don't know what Rena's voice is, but in my head, I heard that in Rena's voice. But it's so funny if I ever do hear Rena's voice, and I'm going to be like, that's not the voice I had in my brain. But Rena always makes me laugh with some of the comments. Debs, what's real and what is fake? The fandom is the way it is because of the extent of the PR. Kristen said, you can't fake that for that long. The curtains would fall eventually. Absolutely. And plus they were just always together and they chose to be still together. Even after like they're done with their work, they would still hang out. So they weren't tired of each other's company. Amar said, the PR tour in Lukola made me believe in love, real love again. They are so precious. Natalie said, has there ever been this much PR for anything else? I don't know. It was a really long time on that tour. C. Sorrell said, oh, and more shows should do behind-the-scenes stuff. It was great. I love the behind-the-scenes stuff, for sure. Jay said, is there any event coming they are going to? Not that I've heard of. Thanks, Kay Winnie, because it seems like Wimbledon was one of the things, which obviously Nicola went to, but Luke did not. Thank you, Jenny. But, what was it? And I guess people said they were supposed to go to the Met Gala, but neither of them did. User with a lot of numbers right behind it said, I met them in Galway. Oh, really? And I will cherish that moment for the rest of my life. How cool is that? That's awesome. Diana said, I miss seeing them together. Yeah. Princess underscore ENF said, I think we need a spin-off with Penn and Colin. We all would be glued to Netflix. I think we would love it. Kristen said, Emmy nominations come out tomorrow, but Bridgerton wasn't eligible. Was it because they split it in half? Is that why? Ev said, they are my first PR and the last. Oh. GL Benner said the PR was like an additional show. That's true. Watching Lady said, do we still believe that they are endgame? Okay, let's do a poll real quick. Are they, do you still believe they are endgame? Red says no, blue is yes. So, do you still believe they are endgame? So we're going to have folks continue. Right now, yes is winning by like 4 times more. A little less than 4 times more. Maybe 3 times more than no. So, let's see here. It looks like an overwhelming amount, but obviously, let's consider the audience. So, of course, we're going to be more overwhelmingly believing in Endgame. So, when the poll ends, I would love folks to share why they voted the way that they did. Like, why did you say that you still believe they're Endgame, or why do you not believe they're Endgame anymore? Or if you ever did believe they were Endgame, maybe you never thought they were Endgame in the first place. But I would love to know the answers to that question. Like, why did you choose your answer? Why do you think they're endgame, and why do you think they're not endgame? And obviously, as we're sharing these things, please be respectful in the way you phrase things. Miss M said, honestly not sure because they might have different goals, family-wise, etc. Rena said, no, my marriage is and has been easy, and I wish that for everyone. Kirsten said they have a lot to work out personally, especially Luke. Filming starts soon. I think a lot will change then. Alicia said, who is saying that they signed a contract to act in love for PR? Anyone credible? I've not heard that. I mean, they obviously do sign to be actors that look like they're in love, but for PR, I don't think that was the case. I mean, does it happen? Sure, it happens, but like theirs was unnecessarily high up there. Sydney said, I used to think they were, but I think they are at different points in their lives. And I mean, different points in their lives right now is different than not than being endgame, right? So people can be at different points right now and still be endgame. Do you think that they are in different points of their life and they will never meet up in the future, so they are not endgame? I guess that's my question. Many said you can't just fake that chemistry in love. Natalie said, I definitely believe they would be great if they chose to take that step. Melissa said, I feel like it's just right people, wrong time. P. Wade 45 said, Luke needs to spend some time soul searching. Mary says, I feel he lost his chance, but I still have hope. Scrappy Doo says, you can't fake that kind of chemistry, their whole body language. Tam said, oh, I missed the poll. I was on the phone with my dad. What was the question? The question, Tam, was, are they endgame? Yes or no? Iman said, for me personally, you never know what will happen. They could be endgame in a couple of years. MD said, I think they're not endgame because she's a woman and he's still acting like he isn't ready for that. And again, that's the question I have for folks. To me, endgame doesn't mean like now. Endgame means like in the end, they'll be together. So I guess my question is like, do you think that they'll never get to a place where they're ready? Where they're both ready at the same time? Will it always be Ross and Rachel? Will they always be missing each other? But even Ross and Rachel eventually got on the same page. Jenny said, I used to believe they are endgame. Now, not so much. He's too messy and Nick don't have time for that. Iman said they also maybe have different life goals. Veronica said, even if they have had a few bumps in the road, they still love each other. Margaret said, oh, wait, is this Margaret? No, this is not Margaret. I don't think this one is Margaret. Maybe it is Margaret. No, I don't think so. Mafoli 98 said, their journey has just begun as their friendship. They just started getting close. It has just begun as their friendship. Yeah. Tammy said, I think after Bridgerton, it may be more easy because they have more respect for their work. Heather B said, I think I'll stay on the ship, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Wombat 6 says, I think the pull may be undeniable when they see each other. We'll see. Lynette said, they seem like polar opposites on a personal level. Princess _ENF said, chemistry plays a role in a marriage and being best friends is the key. The Greenbird Brigade said, I think Nick is in love with him, but he isn't reciprocating. Thank you, Ronnie. Oh, I love that one. Bex G said, Luke has some growing up to do. Diana said, I wonder whose idea was to start holding hands with each other. I mean, I don't know, but whether whoever's idea it was, they both still actively chose to hold hands. Because here's the thing, I would see footage where Nicola would put her hand out for him to take it, but there are other times where her hand wasn't out and he would seek it. So I think it's a mutuality of the holding hands, because I've seen times where she's initiated the hand holding, and I've seen it when he's initiated the hand holding. So, and times when it's just they mutually go and grab each other's hand. So I think it's a mutuality. I'm behind. I'm going to miss some of the good answers. I know it because I have to scroll down. King said it would be so sad to see that kind of chemistry and connection unexplored. Marie Constantine said dark, but I think they are endgame. If not in this life, then the next. Ida Pita said they will never be on the same page. He's too immature. She deserves better. Alexandra said, I watched their readings and I think they're in different places, but eventually meet in the middle. Diana said, all these psychic readings are telling me they are endgame. Jenny said, yes, they can, but people move on, especially if they don't have projects together. I got my life jacket, though. Edith says their intimacy scenes were not choreographed. They added stuff from the book that they suggested. Iman said, you can technically be soulmates, but not end together, that it takes a long time. Yeah, definitely. I think they're definitely soulmates, for sure. For me, at least. for sure they're soulmates. However, soulmates are not necessarily always endgame. Sometimes there are platonic soulmates, and they may be platonic soulmates. Who knows? But I still do believe that they can be endgame if they want to be. Thanks, Courtney. Love May said it's funny. Lukola has had an uphill battle with fans. The support hasn't always been there for them. Thank you, sweetie. Maybe it says P and it just cuts off, so I don't see what the rest said. Love May. I think that's the other thing where I did hear the rumblings that at first they didn't know they were going to get this overwhelming support because there seemed to have been a lot of people against Lukola. So it's so cool to see that they prevailed over that kind of naysaying. Thanks, Jenny. Kirsten said not polar opposite at all based on things they've said. I mean, I do remember when Luke said that him and Nicola were a lot more alike than they thought. Like thank you, Dowsey. They enjoyed each other's company a lot. It was easy. They didn't annoy each other. It was very easy with each other. Love May said, I love Lukola and I think they are endgame. Sue said, are they even talking now? Totally different friend groups, maybe just work friends. I do think they still talk now. I think they text. Oh, I mean, they may get on the phone, but at the bare minimum, I think they text. Stephanie said, I think the hand-holding was organic, probably wasn't discussed ahead of time. Poker Kitten said, I think he's a very nervous and insecure guy. Like the beach emoji says, I don't like, he seems to, well, I'm not going to read that, sorry. Ronnie said, so the ship's still going strong. P. Wade 45 says, hand-holding for him is comfort. Rada said, I think the closeness will fade with time as they will not work together forever. I mean, Lukola said she will miss Luke, right? So you can't miss someone who's supposed to be still in your life to the same magnitude. So, but she's like, he's going to get used to me, like sending him like these silly internet, videos. So obviously they still are in contact with each other, but I think what she was going to miss is that closeness that they had, because when you're with each other for that long in filming and then going on tour together, like you're never going to have that experience again in the same level as they did have in those two experiences. Jenny said, I'll miss the hand holding, too cute. Deb said, so then does anyone think that cast and crew are just trying to sell the show with all the ship comments? Okay, that's a great poll question. Do people think the cast and crew are just trying to sell the show with all the ship comments? So, red means selling they're selling the show, and then blue is they're actually on the ship. So, red is they're selling the show, blue is they're on the ship. Now, the hard part of this is you might be both. Because I think I lean both. I think it does sell the show and I think they do ship. So I don't know how I'm going to work that, but maybe people will just write both if they believe both. But if you strongly believe one, vote. But then I could never get the both in there. There are a lot of boths I see in the chats, though, even though I can't count how many boths. Kirsten said Claudia is always calling herself the third wheel for a reason. I always think just the little looks that they do, like, I mean, Jonathan and Luke Thompson, like, actually all of them. I mean, they all have done a look around this stuff. So I don't know. Love May said both 40-60. Miss M said, nah, they could easily sell the amazing pollen chemistry and scenes. Patty said both. I think they're using their chemistry to their advantage. Ronnie said, yeah, I'm not voting, just both. Okay, so it was overwhelming 56, or at least doubled the other one. So people are saying they do believe that the cast and crew are on the ship. I think so too, simply because I feel like they have talked about this in different ways throughout the years. Well, I haven't been here throughout the years, but like I've seen certain things where I'm like, I think they feel something. They know. They know. Bridgie fans said they are around them 24/7 for 8 months. They know what they see. Minnie said they were together 14 months. I can't see just throwing that away. And I don't think they will, honestly. I think there is an intentionality of not showing much publicly because people do, well, we're here. We're talking about stuff, right? So Iman said, but Simone is definitely shipping them. Yes. I mean, here's the difficulty, right? As fans, we want to have these discussions. We get to enjoy these discussions. But there's always like a line of like how much is too much of things when it starts to affect like how open and free people can be to show their relationship. And when I say relationship, it's not necessarily romantic. It could be friendship. It could be coworker relationship, whatever it might be. You know, what happens? Thank you, Zarina and Watching Lady. Like, what is too much? You know, when is it too much? When is it, when do people need to pull back? You know, that's the stuff. Deb says, I hate to think the cast and crew would ship them knowing it would not happen and hurting people. I mean, see, I think it's hard because I think they want it to happen. I do. I mean, certain folks, I'm not saying every cast and crew does, but I definitely think there are certain folks that was rooting for this to happen for them. Or at least was waiting for them to wake up and notice the dynamics and the chemistry that they had with each other. So, Wendy says it makes me so sad to think that, I don't know what this says, like this chemistry can't work. Sorry there, Wendy. I had a hard time reading that message. I apologize. Kirsten says, another thing is I think they're scared of the pressure to live up to something people want from them. Yeah. I mean, they have such a fun friendship. Sometimes just the dynamics of having to think of other parties having opinions of them and all that stuff. It's difficult. And wanting to see things from them that maybe they don't want to necessarily give us. Ellie Chada said, I feel like the cast sees their chemistry and ship them secretly or not so secretly. I feel like some of them have a bad, like, poker face. The Greenbird Brigade said, Nick literally had a bachelorette party / bridal shower before the wedding. I know, right? It's funny. Coop1717, isn't it? Which is, I feel like somebody said in a comment that this is going to be like the little moniker in the fandom. That this isn't it, because it really is like, isn't it? Like I when I hear isn't it, I will think about Colin and I will think of Paulin. I will think of Lukola. The same way I think of professional, the word professional, I don't hear it the same way. I do think of it in Lukola terms now when I hear the word professional. And LC80 said, I do believe that they found their acting soulmate. You can act with other people, but not like them. That's very true. Dowsy49 said the cast and crew are definitely shipping them. You can see it. Anna said, at least Claudia did, I think. MD said they really want it to happen for sure. I think we all do when he's the Luke he is around the cast. What EWA99 said, Gal, what's the latest on the Lukola front? I've been so out of it lately. There's nothing really to talk about there. Thank you, Cloudy Cloud and Watching Lady. Yeah, like there's nothing much to say really. We haven't gotten any new information per se of Lukola. We may have heard things separately for like Nicola, and obviously Luke was, I guess, very excited for the game. Unfortunately, I'm sure he's saddened that England lost. Miss M said it may happen now that they aren't the leads. They might have been worried about it getting messy. Though, I mean, they'll still be working together. So, I mean, there's still reasons to hold off if they wanted to based off of their career. And Phillips says, any new developments? I've been teaching all day. Nothing that I know. Oh, Stephanie said, but Mia is back in TikTok. That explains why, like, I got a notification about when she duetted me. And I was like, that happened a while back. But maybe because she turned on her TikTok, maybe it just caused that like notification to resend. Sydney said, I mean, the costume team didn't have to say that it felt like a real wedding. And so many of them did say that. They described it as a real wedding. Thank you, Eva, or what, EWA99. Kirsten said his reaction to the dress was legit perfect. Yeah, perfect. I loved it. And that specific high-pitched voice that he does when he gets really excited or when he was caught off guard by something, you know, isn't it? Just FYI to folks that I don't read any messages that has any Luke adjacent folks mentioned. Thank you, Caroline. Edith said, he said, it's amazing, isn't it? And Coop 1717 said, and in an English accent. Mary said, would love a rom-com movie with them. We need to make it happen. YLI said, y'all, was I the only one that perceived that isn't it moment as funny sarcasm? From Lukola, not from Luke. I think Luke was genuine. And I think I read off the isn't it from Lukola as kind of like trust, because it's kind of a sweet moment. A part of me felt like she almost got uncomfortable with how sweet it was. So she kind of made a joke to like lessen how sweet the moment, not lessen the sweetness of the moment, but just be like playful with it. I could be wrong though. Oh yeah, Veronica said the mirroring of their behavior is unbelievable and says a lot. That was actually another crowd favorite that I should have put out a video of, because there are some wild mirroring they did. And it was a video that was sent to me over and over again. It's just because I was super busy and I never got to a place where I ended up like making a video on it. But everybody sent me that. There's been at least 2 videos that have been crowd favorites that I never ended up making a video on. That was one of it. And the other one was like when they wore the same outfits. I didn't get a chance to like put that out. Mafoli 98 said selling something I think would feel unauthentic to all their hard work. I think if they were only selling something, it would feel unauthentic. I do think though, if they're really genuinely shipping them, it does still just naturally lend itself to selling the show. Just because if people are shipping them in real life, and their cast and crew, people automatically connect them to Bridgerton anyway. So it is, by association, selling the show. But it would be a travesty if they were only selling the show and they actually didn't believe it. Then it is kind of a disrespectful. I mean, to me, it would be disrespectful to the fan base. Because they would feel like it would be hurtful, a hurtful act. I mean, for me. Maybe other people would feel differently about that. Miss M said the secret file, the leads pass to the next ones. I wonder if it warns about fan pressure / shipping. That's why I jokingly said, but not jokingly said, that maybe the reason Harriet and Luke, if they really are no longer dating, as people have said, I wonder if it's because he's most likely going to be the lead. And let's not complicate things by dating during the time that you're the lead, because it gets so complicated. Kristen says Nick was sarcastic. She was so nervous. Princess _ENF said Netflix would be stupid if they don't pair them more often. You know what's difficult though, really, is like, obviously they have amazing chemistry and you want them to be able to do things together. But when you're actors, you also really want to be able to be seen as your own person, not always connected to somebody else. And I do think sometimes it's almost detrimental to how much people connect the two of them together. And I get full disclosure, I get genuinely saddened when people act like Luke can't be like as great without Nicola. Like as if he's less of an individual without her. That kind of stuff actually makes me sad. I do love the idea that she brings out the best in him and they're great together and all that stuff. But when it becomes like, oh, Luke does not know how to function or cannot be who he is without Nicola, I feel like that's a disservice to who Luke is as a person, because he is his own person and he doesn't need Nicola to exist. And sometimes people talk as if he doesn't exist without her, and that's a travesty to me, personally. Zaridactyl _XOXO said, hi, first time in the live, really appreciate how thoughtful you are. Thank you. I'm glad you're able to make it. Unfortunately, this is a really short one. This is just an hour long, so I have 15 minutes left before I have to head out because I am in a bocce league. Ronnie said, I don't think anyone has gotten the shipping this strong. I think that I don't know of any, at least. Sydney said, do you guys think they were nervous for the wedding because it was a big scene or because it felt real? Okay, let's do another poll. So red will be they were nervous because it was a big scene, or blue because it felt real. So red is they were nervous because it was a big scene, blue because it felt real. GI said, have you already talked about Nicola saying she would miss Luke the most out of the entire season 3 experience? Yes, in passing, but not fully explored it. Jessica Lynn said, Shonda Land out here making people question their relationships. People are rooting for Pauline's spinoff. Miss M said, I want the real chemistry. I want them making commentaries of future episodes. Watching Lady said, the problem with pairing them for other projects is that people will always associate them with Pauline. Yeah, that's the hard part. I mean, so the poll ends in 6 seconds now. So it's overwhelmingly people say that it was because the wedding felt real. And they kept using the words real. A lot of them did. So I think it lends people to think that way when so many people who worked on that wedding scene said that kind of same idea. So this is Margaret. I knew there was another person that I was like, is this Margaret? No, this one's Margaret. Margaret says, have you watched the carriage analysis yet that you told us to watch earlier? I have not watched it yet, though I see that everybody, I mean, honestly, like, I need to just have a game plan. Sometimes there's folks that have sent me really long ones that I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do this because I'm trying to function. I'm trying to figure out how to do life again since doing TikTok. Like, it's been difficult. You think that I would have time, but I've just been having a hard time just kind of balancing life right now. So I have not. But I think the biggest game plan I could have to be able to watch this thing is to do it when I am on my vibration plate, because I do 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes at night. So I feel like that would cover it. Yolanda said both because they care so deeply and genuinely. Sue said both but voted blue. Hello, Tanya C. And Lippy. Lindsay. Nicola said they all did, and they also used their real names. Yeah, however, I will also say that what is her name again? I forgot her name. Edwina's real name. Oh, y'all probably remember. I'm forgetting her name off the top of my head. But anyways, they used her real name when they were talking about the wedding scene that they did for them. So sometimes they actually do use each other. Terethra, that's it. They did use their real names on their scene 2 in season 2, when they also did kind of a surprise thing for her. Definitely didn't have the same feel, obviously, because people knew that there was no actual interest between the two main characters. But all to say, though, that they do tend to sometimes use people's real names, I have discovered, because I'm always looking for baseline stuff. Like, is this only for Luke and Nicola, or do they do this typically? And there's definitely been behind the scenes where they've used the real names of the actors rather than the character names. P. Wade 45 said, Nicola has said when she's done with Bridgerton, she's done with Bridgerton. You mean like never bring it up again, or what now? What was the interview? Because that kind of seems so odd for her to say. I think I need to understand it in context. TLR vibes, I think they would be great in a Barbie sequel. So he could be her Ken. Brittany said it was a beautiful wedding, real or not, though. Heather B said she had a wedding band with meeting made for a fake wedding. Good point. I mean, a special ordered, special request kind of thing. Thank you, Martha. Special wedding request. P. Wade said, oh, she would not do, okay. I think you meant spinoff, but thank you, Blanca. But I would love to see her and Luke in a spinoff as well. Like, can you imagine if they did a spinoff? Who would win? Oh, by the way, I watched an old interview with Nicola that somebody sent me via DM, and it was at Wimbledon last season, I think, last year, and she was basically talking about how she would not be able to play tennis. Like, she does not know how to do that. And it made me think about our poll question about who would beat each other on like a tennis match, if it would be Claudia and Luke T, or Nick and Luke Luke. And so people voted, I think, I can't remember who won that now. I think maybe Claudia and Luke T. Can't remember now. But either way, it should have been Claudia and Luke T, because Nicola was like, no. Oh, thank you, Cloudy Cloud and Martha. Yeah, everybody keeps saying it's so worth the watch, the carriage scene analysis. So I definitely know I should make a priority to watch it, because everybody's like, you should. Yolanda said, would have loved a longer wedding sequence in Vows. Thank you, Heather B. Steph Clock said it was so good. So good that probably the carriage scene one. Sue said, Colin is important in the last few books, so I hope they stay true to that part of the books. Ronnie said, I think they're resigned to being pinned to Pollen, because even Nick said that when they die, they'll play news? Wait. Thanks, Jess. GL Benner, in regards to the carriage scene video, said, so worth it. Great insight. S_KO 3.17 said, where's the carriage analysis at? If you go to YouTube and type in Sammy Barnes, SAMMY Barnes, you should be able to see it. Okay, so I have 8 more minutes with y'alls before I have to head out. Okay, so Claudia and Luke T won. Okay, thank you for reminding me, y'alls. And so folks did vote properly, because Nicola was like, nope. Kristen said, Nick takes on being all things to all people, needs a safe place to fall. I think Luke gives her that. Patty says you can watch in a faster speed to shorten the time. Actually, Patty, you're right. And I actually prefer that. I watch most things at 1.5 speed. Sometimes 2 speed, but usually 1.5 speed. Just because my brain processes it better when it's 1.5 speed. Every time I hear things in regular speed, it feels too slow for me. Unless the person's a naturally fast speaker. Marie says, Nick wants a real relationship. Luke likes living out relationship on the show. Fight the fear, Luke. Oh, Buddha's mom said play Pitbull on the news. Okay. Oh, yeah. Kristen said Nick said Paulin would die the same day. Yeah. Hi, Bree Young. The topic we're talking about, I forgot right now as I'm saying that, but hopefully you picked up on what it is. I don't know why I totally spaced out what my answer should be for that. But I'm only staying for like 7 more minutes, Bree. So it's a short one because I got to head off to my bocce league. Love May said it was cool that they added the wedding scene to this season because it was brushed over in the book. Okay, here's my question for you. So I did a video where I talked about how when Luke Thompson and Jonathan Bailey looked at each other in the wedding scene, they gave each other this look. And I was like, I'm not saying that they know anything, but I'm just saying that in interviews, they've given each other those looks whenever Luke and Nicola are, whenever Luke is talking about Nicola or something like that. And somebody in the comment section said, it was in the book. So they don't know anything. But I just said, oh, it's always great to have people who know the book give insight to this story. And then I asked them, like, well, how did they write the interaction? And I don't think they ever responded, but I get so many comments that I don't know if I just missed their response. But the thing that was in the back of my head as I was typing that response to that person is people told me that they brushed over the wedding scene in the book. So if they brushed over the wedding scene in the book, why would they have written specifically the brothers looking at each other? Unless the person was just telling me that. So I guess I just want to fact check. Did the book ever talk about the brothers looking at each other like Luke and Jonathan looked at each other in the scene? Or is that person just telling me that? Oh, Julie said 100% not in the book. Okay, so then why would the person say that? Unless a person was just trying to be like, no, you're dumb for even thinking that there's this thing and I'm going to try to shut you up by pretending that there's something in the book because you never read the book. Possibility. Well, I'm going to probably go back to that comment. And now I don't trust that person. Because why did they outright lie to me? I mean, honestly, y'all's like this stuff, like what you say in the chat really comes back to me. And that was the thing that kept coming back to me when the person said that. I was like, how come everybody told me that there was no wedding scene? Like that it was brushed over in the book. And that yet this person's telling me there's something specifically about the brothers. Like, why would you waste a line about the brothers if you're not even going to talk about the wedding in a significant way? I had a feeling that person was lying to me. Okay, everybody's saying there was no wedding scene. That person definitely lied to me. I'm going to go back to that comment and just block the person because they're liars. I mean, oh wait, I shouldn't say that. Because what if they really thought that it was in the book? I shouldn't assume that. But I just don't like it because I think I kind of felt like the person was being snarky in the response too. But then at the same time, I'm like, but then maybe they are being just honest because, you know. So I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if I was reading snarkiness that wasn't there. So I just tried to assume the best and assume that they did read the book. But now y'all are telling me that it's not at all. It's not at all in the books. So now I'm just like, you know. So now I just wonder. Anyways. Okay, so I got 3 more minutes. Is there anything folks want to make sure we talk about in the last 3 minutes? Sue said, glad they added the wedding in the show because it was gorgeous. Bree said, I love they put the wedding, though. It's such a highlight for Penn and Colin. Christina Reyes Segal said, you should read the book. It's amazing. The Flower with the Stars said, I don't care about book Colin. Show Colin is the one for me. GL Benner says, have a great game. Thank you. I should play 2 games. And then I'll do a thing called lagging and also shooting. Shooting is like throwing the bocce ball very hard to try to move another ball out of the way. Choice Agua said, did y'all see the video where Nicola said she will miss Luke? So sweet. Yes, I did. Yeah, Karen said book just kind of skipped wedding. Okay. Yeah, so everybody said a bunch of things. Thank you, Bree. Bree said you have a good game and be safe and have fun. Thank you. It's warm again, so hopefully it's not going to be beating down too much on me as I play. Because that sometimes can really affect how concentrated. Like, some people are really good with heat. I am not one of them. I'm a very upper 70, lower 80s kind of person. I can handle it more if there's a breeze. Okay. Stephanie said in the book, the wedding and wedding night was summed up in 2 sentences, saying they were both magical. Okay, definitely gonna try to find that comment again and just because that's not cool. Yolanda said the book is okay, but the series is way better in my opinion. Kirsten said it's so hot, grows out everywhere, so hot. Oh. Shelly said, Phoebe, did you see the YouTube link I sent you about the analysis of the carriage scene? What's good? Yes, actually, everybody, not everybody, a lot of people sent me that link. I made a video on it telling people to watch it, but I was honest with people and said I haven't watched it myself. I'm going to try to watch it, and then I'll give my thoughts on it once I do watch it. But I have not watched it yet. Oh, my word. It's all love. BB said it's 104 in Texas. Oh, my word. I cannot. Just hearing that, I'm already on fire. 103 in Colorado, Steph? Oh, gosh. Oh, my word. Y'all's. And I know folks are like encouraging me to read the book. I need to figure out my life first, to be honest. I need to figure out how to manage my time. 110 in Arizona, Kimorova girl. Oh, my word. Y'all's. I feel like a whiner because I'm fairly sure it's only like in the 80s here. Probably upper 80s. And I'm like, oh, it's too much. Courtney says it's 95 in Indiana. Rena, it's been 110 to 115. Oh, my word. Y'all's. Wow. 112 in Maryland. Oh, okay. Y'all's like, wow. I am such a whiner for nothing. Please, I do not want it to be this hot. Your numbers are too hot for me. I would not be leaving the house. I'd try to find a way to stay cool all day. But anyways, I enjoyed my time with y'all. Sorry it was so brief. Hopefully can touch base with you tomorrow. All right, bye.